Afternoon, everyone. Moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded by Councillor Rigglehoff. Be it resolved that the Township of Greater Madawaska Council calls to order the May 5th, 2020 special council meeting at 3:35 p.m. All in favor? Carried. And moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded by Councillor Rigglehoff, that the agenda of the special council meeting of May 5th, 2020 be approved as presented. All in favor? Carried. And any declaration? Lucy.
Can we add, you went through, you didn't ask for addition, deletion, and excuse. Can I have 2 items added to the agenda?
There cannot be additions made to a special council meeting. So once the agenda is approved or circulated, additions cannot be moved as per the procedural bylaw.
Okay, thank you.
Any declaration of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. And move to facilities 405S1.
So this is an update to council on information that we have obtained with regard to municipal boat launches. So as council may recall, last Monday, it was agreed upon that the boat launches would remain open. To put it into some perspective, I did ask staff to do a count of vehicles to the Barnett Park boat launch. So April 25th, there was 28 vehicles, and April 26th, there was 10 vehicles. So for that weekend, the picnic area and parking, or the picnic area and park were not roped off. For the last weekend, so May 2nd, and there was 14 vehicles, of which only 3 were trucks and trailers actually utilizing the boat launch area. And May 3rd, there were 16 vehicles, and again, there was 3 trucks and trailers utilizing the boat launch area. So as part of the meeting last week, I did follow up with the field officer for the Office of the Fire Marshal and Emergency Management for the province of Ontario. And he provided the legislation that is attached with regard to parks. Within that legislation, there is no reference to boat launches. Therefore, boat launches do not apply to that legislation. He reiterated again that even if the boat launch is in the middle of the park, those are 2 separate issues, and that boat launches within a municipality have been left to the discretion of the municipality to be open or closed, whether they are not part of a park or not. He did encourage that people using boat launches to practice physical distancing rules, as with every other component of our lives right now. And he saw no issue with the boat launch in Barnett Park being open if that was the decision of council. At this point, there's no recommendation to council, but this issue will continue to be monitored.
Okay. No questions from Glenn?
Miss Councillor, there we go.
Councillor McPherson.
Okay. Just a comment. On Friday, I had occasion to travel Centennial Lake Road, and the boat launch on Centennial Lake Road, there were no trailers, no vehicles, other than a motorcycle that had stopped, and 2 individuals that were traveling on the motorcycle were, I'm assuming, taking a break and were just resting there in the grass. When I returned, they were gone, and the boat launch area was empty.
Thank you. Yes, I think it's like we had expected that this is not the time when the boat launches would be busy. I think as you're coming up to the long weekend in May is where we would normally see an uptake in the use of the boat launches. So we have another week before that. If any council has ideas on how we should move forward, I think Lucy was toying with an idea that she will work with the CAO on. And if there's something brought forth, we will work with Charles and the Trails Committee to see if something should be brought, and we could have another council meeting to discuss that before the long weekend. Okay, any questions? Okay, seeing none, I will move to Public Works. 505S1, tender PWC 2020. So I'll read it. I'll read the tender, and then or the resolution. If there's any questions, we'll go into them then. Moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded by Councillor Rigelhoff. The council award tender PWC 2020-29, Part C to ES Hubble and Sons for $19,056 plus HST. So any questions on the purchase of those culverts from council? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. And the next item, 505S2, Ferguson Lake reconstruction. Allison, do you want to speak to that, or do you want me to?
No, I can speak to that.
Okay.
So on the second page or the third page of the document, there is a summary of expenditures. So what initially was approved by council was item number 1. So it was approved for $35,000. The request or the proposal now, based on an approved project description and project, so from 200 meters south of Campground Side Road to Canelli Mountain, the cost has increased to from $35,000 to $100,000. And then with regard to design and engineering, as a result of changes once again, that was initially $188,000, and it's the new amount is $213,500. Item 3 is $70,000. That item has not been requested to be funded yet, but at this point to allow the project.
Yes.
Sorry, it has been, but that amount has that amount had not been included before.
But it's included this time?
It's included this time.
Yes.
So it's included this time, but council has not approved that amount previously. And item number 4, we're not asking for approval of that amount at this time. The engineer does not need that amount approved at this time to move forward. But items 1, 2, and 3, if that could be approved, that would allow this project to be moved forward and meet some key deadlines. We need to move forward with the natural heritage study, and it's advantageous to get that completed in May before there's foliage and such.
Okay, and I'll just add one point before I call for questions is, so the municipal class EA Schedule C, because of the size of the contract and so on, this has changed from where we thought it was originally, which has caused that cost to increase. And as well as the project now is about 1 kilometer longer than it was initially. So that's affected both 1 and 2, the fact that there's a bigger scope to the contract. So call anyone have questions on that. Seeing none, I'll read the resolution. Moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded by Councillor Rigelhoff. The council increases the budget for Ferguson Lake Road from a municipal class environmental assessment Schedule C design and engineering and project management and administration to $383,500 plus HST to Greenview Environmental. All in favor? Carried. And confirmatory bylaw, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded by...
I'm sorry, there's item 9.05S.1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Correspondence, Allison.
So I was asked to add this item to the agenda because quite frequently members of council will receive an email where there's more than one member of council that is receiving the email. So it could be 2, it could be 3. And to avoid everyone responding or, not knowing who's going to respond because it's not always addressed to an individual, it was asked if those emails could be forwarded to me and that staff prepare a response, respond to the individual, and include the members of a council who were included on the initial email. So if that works, or if there's any questions or concern with that, it's just, that's one option of addressing the inquiries that council are receiving if it's not addressed to a specific individual.
Yes, Councillor Perrier.
Yeah, okay, so just so I'm clear, if I respond to some emails that I get from a constituent and I'm just informing the other council members, is that a no-no, Allison, or what? Because I can respond to some of the emails, you know,
the challenge, the one that I was asked about was there was 3 members of council that were included on an email, but not one, it wasn't addressed to any particular one. So the thought was that they could receive the individual could potentially receive 3 responses with the staff still not knowing what the issue is or what the concern is. So it was suggested that in that instance that the email be forwarded to me, and I may just respond to the constituent and the members of council saying, staff's looking into this, we will respond.
Okay.
At a later date, once we have time to look into the matter, just so that the ratepayer is not getting 3 different emails from council. Because if you just hit reply and not reply all, not everyone would know that the email's been addressed.
Okay, understood. So those are only for emails that are from our constituents, correct? Like if for example, if I send you something with a suggestion about something, and I CC the other Brian and the other 3 councillors, tell me what you want me to do.
Well, it's really up to you. If it's a suggestion that you think should be brought forward to council, then I would only forward it to me, because if it's brought forward to council, I will bring it forward so that it can be discussed in an open forum and not constitute a council meeting. Because if other members of council comment back, then we would potentially have an illegal meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think one of the benefits of us sending it to the CAO and getting a response, sometimes we're getting the ones where they're blind copied, so you have no idea. But one of the challenges is taking up each one of our time, you know, to answer the same question. So it's a lot more efficient if we can have it researched by the CAO, and if she feels she needs input from us, she would come to us, and as long as we're copied. So the big thing is we have to ensure that the person sending the email gets a timely response, because we want that. And then if there's any views, you know, that we feel have not been covered, well, you can contact the CAO and express that interest. But I think it'll be much more efficient for us. Obviously, with the pandemic and the closure of, or the suggested closure of the boat launch and the traffic in town, we're getting enormous amount of emails, and there isn't time for the 5 of us to be responding to each one of them. It's just not good use of our time. So not that Allison has a lot of extra time, but she is going to handle that for us. So if there's no objections to that, that's the way we'll move forward.
We can always try it, and if it doesn't work, we can try a different approach.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So now I'll read the confirmatory bylaw. Moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded by Councillor Rigglehoff. Be it resolved that the following bylaw, 31-2020 confirmatory, be deemed read a first, second, and final time and passed by council at the special council meeting held May 5th, 2020. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded by Councillor Rigglehoff, that the special council meeting on May 5th, 2020 be adjourned at 3:49 p.m. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, council.
Hey, are you going to turn us off, Allison?
I will in a moment.
Okay.